Hello, everybody. This is Waldorf,
This is Statler.
and today we got Battle Report 124.
124.
Second game back with Orcs and Goblins.
Back at his hobbies with the poo pizza.
The pee-poo pizza, and look who we're fighting against. The Highborn Elves.
There you go. Triple balls.
You know, I did really well when I was playing with Highborn Elves.
Yeah, let's see how it goes the other way around.
Okay, well, let's do that.
Yeah.
All right. So, here we go. Come on. Where we go? There we go. So, same list as last time. Feral Orc, Shady Shankin, Tuk-Tuk's Guard, Ale Flask. Iron Orc Chief, BSB for the Steadfast for the Iron Orcs. He's got Plate, Hero's Heart, and the Pan of Protection Pension. 2 Cave Goblin Chiefs on Cave Nashers.
Yep.
Common Orc Shaman on a Boar Chariot, and a Common Orc...
Hairy Loom, whatever that is.
That's an heirloom. Oh, it is a hairy loom.
It's a hairy loom.
A Common Goblin Witch Doctor.
Sounds kind of gross to me.
On Witchcraft. I fixed the other part, but I forgot that one. I got the magical part right.
There you
go. Witchcraft guy on Wolf Chariot. 24 Feral Orc Ed Bashers, Paired Weapons, Green Tide banner, 3 units of 20 Common Orcs, 24 Iron Orcs, Green Tide banner, 2 units of Common Raiders, Scrap Wagon,
Yeah.
Git Launcher, and 2 Splatterers.
All with Overseers.
All with Overseers. 20-point upgrade, but worth every point. Highborn Elves. High Prince, who's the general with Dragon Forged Armor, Paired Weapons.
This font is very difficult to read.
That's the intention of it. Because I can say whatever I want, and you can't argue with me.
I can argue anyway.
And you can't catch my misspellings if you can't read the letters.
So there is a strategy.
He is. He has the glittering lacquer, which makes him a hard target, I believe. He's got the Death Cheater for a 4-up regen, Hero's Heart, and he's riding a young dragon. Commander, it's not as good as my ancient dragon I was using.
Nope.
He has a Commander, BSB, Master of the Canreg Tower, Dragon Forged Armor, Great Weapon, Alchemist Alloy, and the Magical Heirloom, which I talked him out of by the time this game was over, because the Hereditary for the High Elves is much reduced. If you got a master, it's still a decent spell.
Yeah, it's okay.
At least you need only a 9 to cast it that way. But with this guy, he needs to roll a 10 on dice to get it, and that's just tough.
Yeah. They over nerfed it.
2 units of Citizen Spears with full command, 5 Elaine Reavers with bows, 18 Citizen Archers with Champion and Musician.
Oh, interesting.
He's convinced into champions because he's been fighting the...
No, these 18 archers.
Oh, the number to fill the core, I think.
Yeah.
Is the reasoning for that number. 5 Knights of Rima with the Rima banner. Look at that. Full command.
Look at that.
21 Sword Masters, full command.
It's finally found its way to the unit.
It belongs to.
Yeah.
They have the Navigator banner on the 21 Sword Masters. Giant Eagle. 10 Lion Guard in Skirmish.
Okay.
With the standard and the banner of Becalming.
Yeah.
Unit of Grey Watchers, your guys. And 2 Sea Guard Reapers. Grey Watchers are the guys that if they hit, you take a toughness test or you're -1.
Right.
To hit or to shoot, right?
Yeah. Basically, yeah. To hit shooting or
in combat. I stuck with the same spells. Actually, this is the same picture, actually.
Looks like it.
Because he has quite a bit of shooting, and I want to concentrate on knocking his shooting down. And I figured the Twisted Effigy has the advantage of the other thing, is going against a spellcaster if I want to. Especially a guy who's getting no plus. Moving on. We, again, dropped a couple units. This is I forget what... cannot remember what the name of this deployment is, but it's where I can deploy all but I start from the... I don't have to do the marching column. It's the one where I deploy all but the 18 inches on the right.
And he does it on the opposite side.
And he does the opposite side, and you can bring in reinforcements if you want.
Refuse flank or whatever that's called.
Anyway, it's kind of the diagonal without being close to each other, but being further away.
Yeah, and you also have some
Kind of forces you
area behind you, which is the challenge with the diagonal.
onto the
flanks.
Like, for instance, on my right flank, I have an area he can come into.
Yeah.
And on his left, I can come in if I wanted to.
Well, no, I mean on diagonal, you can have some bad luck, because the flanks are so shallow. If you deploy there in a panic check, you can run off the game.
Correct. That's true too.
Run
I
off
see
the
what you're
table.
saying.
Yeah.
Right.
You don't have that.
But actually, the diagonal, you would think, stretching from corner to corner, you have more room to deploy, but the frontage is actually narrower on the diagonal deployment because this 9-inch chunk is a big area. It's chopped off the board.
And it pushes you to the flanks.
Right.
And it pushes you so you can't set it back because you don't own each other's way. So,
correct.
Yeah.
You can't pile in the center.
Yeah.
So anyway, starting from the left, I've got 2 units of Wolf Riders, a Splatterer, Bow Boys, Scrap Wagon with a Chariot behind it, more Bow Boys on the hill, Ferals, my first Nasher hero, and a Git Launcher behind him. Moving on, the Iron Orcs, which is something that you should never do, especially with orcs, and that's deploy one orc unit behind another one, especially good units. Anyway, moving on.
Well, you don't have animosity to worry about anymore.
That's true. Moving on to the right, the third
because
unit.
if you did, that guy would be failing like 3 turns in a row.
Of course. Third unit of Bow Boys on the far right. That's the edge of my deployment zone. Nasher hero, Orc Shaman on the Chariot, and the other Splatterer. Now, this is the one where I think it's called Spoils of War, with the 3 tokens in the center that you got to go up and pick up and
grab them
carry
and take
around.
them home. Yeah.
Fortunately, the way I'm deployed, I only have 4 guys in the back, so I don't have 3 full ranks, so I will get slowed down if I pick them up.
Yep.
Unless I can reform. You can see a couple units facing off to the right. That's because on the far right, you can see his unit of Spearmen off to the side, off the board. He's decided to leave one in for ambushers, and they're coming on to anywhere along this board edge on the right.
Okay. Oh, that's the scenario thing. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the deployment. Yeah.
Right.
So on the far left, he's got the Reavers, White Lions in the woods with an eagle and a Reaper behind them.
Skirmish with
bolt thrower
with no crew.
It is. That is a unit of Spearmen. He's deployed them wide because he doesn't like
getting pummeled by splatterers,
thumping them. Big unit of 21 Swordmasters deployed wide with a Master of the Karnreg Tower in it.
That thing on the left, that's just his unit filler.
It is a unit filler,
okay.
yes, which looks nice in the middle of the unit, not so great sitting on the end. 18 Bow Boys on the hill.
Bow Boys.
Bow Boys, that's what I call them. Is other Reaper behind them.
Another decrewed Reaper.
Dragon hiding behind the hill. From doesn't like getting splatterers or Git Launcher hitting him. He's only tough 5.
Yeah.
Dragon Princes also hiding behind the hill from the Git Launcher.
Yep, those hurt.
And 5 of those guys, Huntsmen, I guess. What were they called?
Oh, the Archers? Shadow...
Grey Watchers.
Grey Watchers, there you go.
Off to the right.
Yeah, they used to be called Shadow Warriors, yeah.
So there you have it. And the unit on the far right off the board is in ambush. They're coming in at some point.
Okay.
So Vanguard, he elects to stay where he is back there in the back. I move both my Wolf Riders forward. Water actually does nothing. I thought it even stopped you from marching, but it doesn't. Anyway, has no effect on Cav.
Yeah. Looks good.
So, anyway.
That's right.
Same terrain as we used last time.
Yeah.
Except I've switched sides.
Okay.
So, we've got the water on the left, hill in my center of my deployment, and the forest on my right. And he has the impassable piece of terrain up there in the top left corner, woods, a hill on the right, and a building on the far right.
Looks like his Grey Watchers are looking for that building as a place to go hang out.
I thought they were.
I see.
So, turn 1. Again, no ambushers coming in near my war machine to worry about for my war machines. I'm not that worried about the Reavers back there because they're all the way on the back line. So I'm just doing what I want to do with my scrap wagon, and it's just going for it. That's what it belongs. Anyway, on the left, the bow boy's moving up to get to that objective. I got to start my turn on it to pick it up.
Right.
So I just decided to get as close as I can to it. Everyone was out of shooting range anyway.
You said you want to get up to get in shooting range anyway.
Yeah. So bow boys on the hill, I think, came forward a bit and pretty much. Actually, they might have just sat. No one's within range, but I'm okay with it just there as a base of fire. That's what I'm looking for. Feral orcs move forward as fast as they can with the iron orcs following behind them. Bow boys on the right came forward.
Just to make sure that the iron orcs couldn't get around.
Correct. I want to make sure. But I'm trying to open a gap on the left-hand side, as you can see. That'll surely be successful. The boar chariot's just kind of sitting where it is.
Right.
And both my Nasher heroes have hopped over here behind the woods, because now they're hard target and behind woods.
Right.
And they're just getting ready to deal with the spear block if it ever shows up. Not that we're going to charge into the front of it or anything, but you never know with me. So there you have that. Oh, and you can see up here.
I guess you're out of arc of the woodsman.
Yeah, you can see my
Huntsman.
Yes, the Wolf Riders have moved up out of the arc of the Huntsman, but they are not quite out of arc of the other of his Elaine Reavers.
Okay.
Elaine Reavers. My other unit, you can see them just barely poking out of the right-hand side of the left-hand side of this picture. That's my other unit of 5 Raiders, right by that impassable terrain. Anyway, moving on. The Git Launcher fires and splatters his eagle. Single shotted it off the board.
Okay.
Nice shoot, Tex. I was real happy about that. I don't like eagles. They get in my way. And with that and his only other chaff is the Reavers on the far left.
Right.
Way out of position. So Splatterer fires, and I just like the looks of killing some of these, so I killed 6 of his archers on the hill. I wanted to fire at his war machine, but they're hiding. It's hiding behind them. It's the same height as the guys.
Oh, okay.
So I can't see it.
Right.
Or at least that's the way I figured it. Anyway.
There aren't too many war machines that have a larger status. There's a few.
Like mine.
I went to bully on them, yeah.
So I used Raven's Wing. I got the Raven's Wing off on the unit on the bow boys on the left. And just launched them, moved them forward a couple inches so they would be on the target, on the marker. So they would pick it up at the beginning of next turn.
Yes. Now I understand. All right.
And use that Evil Eye to boost the Feral Orcs' movement so I can get them out of the way of the Iron Orcs and maybe sweep around to the left with my fast-moving infantry.
There you
go. Nice plan, huh? So in his turn, the Reavers charge at the Goblin Raiders. They flee.
But not too far.
Not very far. He charges them with the Lion Guard, and they flee again. And he redirects into the scrap wagon, but doesn't have the movement to make it.
Oh, okay. That's when I was facing that way. Okay.
So basically pushed around my Raiders, but I'm purely happy with that. And it brought him within scrap wagon range.
There you go.
And he realizes his mistake here.
And you can actually hit him and not go in the woods.
I cannot, because I've got to maximize on him. I've got to get on 3 of them. Rest of his line.
With random movement?
Yep. It becomes a regular charge once you've determined it. Rest of his guys come up a bit. He's still not anxious to get real close to me. The Knights of Rima have come over the hill and are getting into the game. There you go. And we move on to my turn 2. You notice, I want to point one thing out there. See these 2 blue tokens right there?
Yes.
Those are Veil tokens I have left over from the first turn. I would have had 1 more die if it would have been for that Banner Beacon.
There is that.
Rather than 2 Veil tokens. Anyway.
It's a very nice thing to have.
It is. So there you have it, beginning of the turn.
They get to trade in those blue Veil tokens for a different color, than now you get back to Orcs and Goblins.
I should now, I guess, shouldn't I?
Go back to green.
Gotta
Yeah.
find some green ones. I have no charges based on this. I have no charges, but the scrap wagon, which he did manage to put a wound on with the bolt thrower. I forget which one of the Reapers fired at it. One of the Reapers fired at it and put a wound on it.
Okay.
But I decided to charge into him. I'm, 2d6 strength 4. It's what I do. If I kill 3 of these, it's pretty much worth the scrap wagon.
Yeah, it's probably the bolt thrower here on the hill because probably all he could see was that scrap wagon.
I believe so because he can't see past his other guys.
Yeah.
Anyway, like I was saying though, it's if I kill 4 or 5 of these guys, it's fantastic.
Right.
So let's go get them. They're going to be steadfast in the woods. They're going to kill me. There's no question there. But unless I can roll 12 and really mash them. Anyway, so that's it. Smash into those guys. You can see on the other thing on his turn, he's peeked. His dragon's kind of peeking around the corner. He's still sheltered from the get launcher and one of my splatterers.
Right.
But one can see him now. Elsewhere, I guess did my orcs come forward? I guess they didn't. That's not good. Yeah, the orcs didn't come forward. The
you were intimidated by the Knights of Rima.
Bow boys on the left had picked those up. Now you notice on the middle of the screen, my scrap wagon is gone.
Yeah.
And notice how many of those guys it took with it.
I don't think it took any of them with it.
That would be correct. I rolled 3 for the impact hits. Wounded 2 and he saved them both. No, sorry, wounded 1 and he saved it.
Maybe you blew up on the woods.
No. I would have been happier with that result. I can't believe that thing did absolutely nothing.
Well, at least now he get to change the face so he can face your guys.
Yeah, it worked out really well for me.
Yeah.
And on his turn, decided let's send him in.
Yep.
Yeah. He's like, what? Anyway, makes no sense. Anyway, the spearmen in the center come forward. The Reaver guy in the back, the Reaver bolt thrower, Reaper bolt thrower fires, kills 2 wolf riders, and the rest backing.
Okay.
In the ensuing, these rallied.
Yeah.
Which is a nice bonus.
That would have been in your turn, but
that would have been in my turn, but I'm just showing you this fight. I think.
Yes.
This fight goes on, and he
killed the guy.
Crushes me, but I did kill one.
Yeah.
And he ran me down and chased.
And he seems to have panicked somebody.
He panicked the
recently rallied wolf riders.
Correct. They managed to rally and just in time to panic again.
Yeah.
So that's okay. It hasn't torn a gaping hole in my.
Did you forget to move them after you rallied them?
What's that? They could not because they fled twice. They fled. They did it.
Right. From the wolf guys.
If you're going to chase them, you might as well chase them twice.
Yeah.
You can see last turn, I didn't have a good picture of it. We were trying to push through this pretty quick. Last turn, I unleashed everything I could into the sword masters, and I've cut them down to
1 rank.
3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 out of 21.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes. And his BSB has left them and gone join the unit of archers on the hill. He no longer felt safe with them.
Yes.
Also in his turn, you can see the spear block has arrived.
And he decided to keep him close.
They could only go 5. So he
no, I
hasn't
meant
done much.
he brought it in close to his battle line.
Oh, correct. Rather than coming all the way back.
Yeah.
Line. Moving on to turn 3. I elected not to. I had this, and I decided not to charge with the ferals into the swordmasters, even though kind of did the math, and he kills 9 of me, and then I go and should butcher him.
Yeah.
Was the way I was looking at it.
Or I could shoot him up with a whole bunch of bows.
Or I can shoot him up with bows and artillery.
Yeah.
So I just said, you know what? Let's just sit back and shoot him with bows and artillery. Elsewhere over here, the Wolf Riders rallied.
Oh, you're a bastard.
So I decided to do this to keep
Conga
him off.
line.
I kept him off the flank of my bow boys so the bow boys could stand exactly where they were and shoot without moving
Yeah.
into the sword masters. I don't know. I think it's an awesome move myself. On the far right, you can see both the Nashers have moved over.
Maybe your next armor should be Vermin Swarm, so you can feel comfortable with the cheese.
Apparently, I need Undying Dynasties for that,
Yeah.
based on our experience.
Yes, that's true.
So anyway, so here I've got
Their cheese is a little more moldy. They're big into the Swiss cheese.
Exactly.
I'm sorry, into the blue cheese or some camembert. Yeah.
so I got like 18 bow boys on the left and 20 on the right to fire into the sword masters, plus whatever artillery I can scrape up. Over here, the Git launcher is misfired and it's facing backwards, as you see. But on the far right, the 2 Nasher heroes have moved over to threaten the flank of that spear block.
Right.
So I shoot and manage to kill 2.
Okay.
Yeah. All that shooting, and I killed 2.
Yeah.
So, ballistic skill shooting is not what it's cracked up to be at times. Other times it overperforms.
It can disappoint you.
You can see he's keeping his Grey Watchers hidden back here behind the building.
Uh-huh.
I haven't mentioned that. They keep poking out and trying to snipe wounds into stuff. And they have not had an effect yet in this game. He should have moved. I thought he was going to move into the building, but he elected not to.
Yeah.
I don't know. Not sure why. So anyway, back to his turn. He decides, well, it's time to do stuff. So he charged both units in. You can see the spear block stretches out, and those are the 2 guys on my corner are actually spearmen
Right.
on the left side of my ferals.
Okay.
That's why they're stretched all the way out there. The sword masters have taken up most of my frontage, and that's going to let the spears overrun into the bow boys, and the sword masters, if they live, overrun into
They live and win.
the
overrun
iron
into
orcs.
Iron
Yeah,
Orcs,
which
okay.
is not likely.
And is that the huntsman or the lion reavers that charged your
Those are
the skirmish guys?
the lion guard.
Lion guard, sorry.
Yeah, they charged out of there and smashed into those guys.
Yeah.
You can see the spear boys have come. His spear boys, his elven spear, his citizen spears have moved forward a bit. So has his dragon princes, but nothing significant.
Right. The dragon shifted over.
His dragon, yeah, that was before they moved. After he moved, you can see the dragon has hopped over here into the main line of combat. Ensuing combat, he only did 4 wounds with the sword masters, which was about half of what
He was expecting.
I was expecting. And where'd we go? Let's go back. We go back and just completely
And vaporize them. Yeah.
The spear block broke from that as well. They were not steadfast because I have 2 ranks. He only had 1 because of his line formation. His artillery formation
Right.
means he was not steadfast. He broke and ran.
Yep.
That's the 1 remaining swordmaster there in the center of the field.
You opted not to chase him?
No. I did not want to chase him. I made my check because I want to stay where I am. Because from there, I've got I'm a rerollable 9 if I declare a charge.
Yep.
So I can declare a charge at the sword masters because I can actually fit between those 2. I'm sorry, the spear block.
Spear block, yeah.
I can declare a charge at those, redirect into the dragon, hit those in the front with my savages, ferals, and then send the bow boys into the flank just for more combat res.
Right.
Because they're actually harder to kill than the feral orcs.
Yeah.
Because he needs force. They have parry, so they're not being hit on 2s.
Right.
So at this point, I've got his dragon. We stopped here because I've got his dragon. I'm going to overrun into his spears. He's got 1 swordmaster left. The only thing he's significantly got left is those guys on the far right.
Right.
The dragon princes. He's also got these guys over here, the lion guard over here, but they're not going to do anything at this point. And at this point, my opponent just threw in the towel.
Oh, okay.
And that's where it ended. There you go. And I also was going to send in, because we kind of talked about it briefly. I also, because of the way he deployed this unit of spears on the right, I have both my Nasher heroes who were just going to go into the side of it.
Oh, you got a flank charge. Yeah.
I had double both of them in the flank. They weren't going to break it.
No, they do a good amount of damage.
But, with
And then the next round he doesn't get the big pluses. So
12 strength 6 attack, 2 impact, 2 strength 6 impact, 2 strength 6 stomps.
Yeah.
And then 12 strength 6 attacks going into that unit. It's going to mess them up a lot.
Right.
Before they do anything. But yeah, at this point, we did the math and it's over. He talked about playing it out, but said it wasn't really worth it. And that's where it ended for a major orc victory over the Highborn Elves.
Yeah.
It was a bad matchup for the Highborn Elves. I mean, I have a lot of shooting.
Yeah, it wasn't doing much.
It did decent on the turn before. It killed half of the sword masters, which kind of, in his mind, what forced him into moving forward and charging.
So you broke his personal morale
because he couldn't stay back and just take the abuse.
Yeah. No, you can't with elves.
So he had to push forward. He tried pushing forward with that last one. I don't know, the spearmans, I don't know where else you could have brought them in to help him anymore, because you can see where they are. I guess if he would have brought them in and just moved to full 10 on the next round to try to get them within.
I'm not sure they're the right unit to put an ambush, so.
Yeah, I think he was just trying it because
Yeah, they're too slow.
It's a new scenario that we haven't played much.
Right.
And I think he was just playing around.
I might consider it with a cavalry unit. Because you can make it a distance pretty fast.
Well, if the Dragon Princes had done it, which would have also saved him from shooting the first round or two instead of hiding behind the hill, kind of would have made sense, I think.
Yeah.
But anyway, like I said, that's where we called it. It's a major victory for the orcs because I've lost next to nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I did lose my scrap wagon to it. Did I mention they did no wounds? To toughness 3 elves.
You did, yeah, you did.
Just wanted to make sure of that. They did have a 5-up armor save.
You lost some wolf riders.
And I lost a unit of wolf riders.
Or 2.
And a bow unit. Yeah, it's kind of disheartening, but
yeah.
Anyway. So that's going to be it. So orcs are back with 2 wins.
There you go.
Let's see if we can keep that roll up. What do you think?
Anything's possible.
All right.
Do you believe in miracles?
I do. I believe in green
That's all
miracles.
that matters.
All right. Thanks for listening. And I will try to get these bases painted.
Yeah, because it's really hard to spray paint stuff.
Yeah. It's been raining. What do you want from me?
There's a structure you have in front of your house. It's called a garage.
Ooh, is that what that's for?
Yeah.
I'm not going to have time to paint them before the next game, so you're going to see them at least one more time.
Mein Gott, Mann. Till the next time, because my eyes are burning from these shiny bases.
It's not that bad. Thanks for listening. Look at his thing over there on the right is shiny. Left is shiny.
It's gray.
It's gray. It looks like gray as mine. You can't tell much difference, can you?
Yes.
Whatever. Thanks for listening.
The standards have dropped.